council meeting to order for November 28th, 2023. Clerk, call the roll.
Ms. Sutton?
Aye.
Ms.
Here.
Espinoglou?
Here.
Mr. Halter?
Here.
Ms. Swather?
Here.
Mr. Lee?
Here.
Ms. Hermes?
Here.
And I'm
Mayor
here.
Moore?
Yes.
Yes.
We have a prayer by Maria Walker.
Lord, we ask you to send your spirit of servanthood upon all of us here gathered this evening to do your work for the benefit of all of our community. We ask you especially to bless and be with those that are losing a loved one at this time of family time, those that are going to be having surgery, those that are sick, especially on this time of the year. We just finished Veterans Day and going into Christmas. Please hold in your hand, the palm of your hand, those veterans, those who sign a blank check to the United States of America, and with the payment, the amount was their blood, their limbs, their mental health, their homelessness, their lives. So please, oh God, give us all peace on earth, and let it be beginning with each one of us. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have council minutes from October 24th council meeting and November 14th. If there are no corrections or questions, minutes shall stand approved. Now we have a public presentation by Jennifer Weichert from the Greenhills Branch Public Library.
Hello, how are you all doing today?
Good.
How are you? I just wanted to say, number one, how appreciative we all are for the support of Hamilton County voters for helping to pass our levy and to ensure that funding from that levy will allow the library to continue to provide high-quality experience to all of Hamilton County residents. After having operated for 170 years, CHPL is committed to ensuring excellent services and spaces for both current and future generations. So just a thank you again to all of the voters of Hamilton County that helped us support us through that. And I also wanted to say the library is a fantastic place to stay connected with everything that's happening in the community. You may have seen that the journal will be stopping publication, and that makes us very sad. However, even though it won't have a print publication, it will still be present digitally. It'll be online through social media and other things, and the library can help with that. We have computers that you can use to access that at any point. If you're a little unsure about what platform it might be on or how to get an account, we will be happy to sit down with people at any point with any technology questions you might have, whether that's how do I get a Facebook account, or can you help me access Waycross Media so I can see all of the very exciting council meetings that are on there and everything else. We also will continue to have the historic journals. We don't know if you all know this, but we do have bound journals going back to 1950 in our branch. And you are welcome to stop by, and we will be happy to get them for you so you can look at them and see what happened 10 days ago or what happened 10 years ago or 70 years ago. We have a lot of other clippings and other things, so you can stop by and see those too. We also have lots of exciting programs in December. We will be out at Light Up Greenhills on Friday, and we're looking forward to that. Third annual commemorative button will be available for anybody who's been collecting them. We also will have on this Saturday, there will be a crystal meditation program from Diamond with Diamond's Crystal Bar in Over the Rhine. We'll be stopping in, so if you want to get a little peace before the holiday madness starts, that'll be at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday. And then to keep you in the holiday spirit, we have Seasonal Songs, which is a guitarist, Peter, who will be there at 2 p.m. on Saturday. So bring everyone on down. That's for all ages, and everybody would be welcome. We also are very excited that the Wave Foundation from the Newport Aquarium will be bringing a very cool animal. We are hoping it's a penguin. It is possible that for the welfare of the penguins, it could be a stingray or other really interesting objects. But there will be live animals, and we will have an interesting presentation. That'll be on Saturday, December 16th at 2 p.m., and that's for all ages as well. We also have a magic show with Tom Beams that will be there on Tuesday, December 19th at 2 p.m. for all ages. And then we also have other craft programs and story times and all the usual things. And then teens can also join us to create penguin cookies on Wednesday, December 20th at 2 p.m. And that would be Oreos dipped in chocolate to made with candy to look like a penguin, no fish involved in the actual construct of that particular treat. Lots of other fun things. Did want to also let you know that we will be closed on December 24th, December 25th, December 31st, and January 1st for the holidays. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Okay. Reports of municipal officials, municipal manager Yvonne Kovac.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to review the legislation quickly. On your agenda tonight, you have the second reading of the income tax code. You also have some assessments, the agreement with Swim Safe Pool Management, and some year-end supplementals. Deb is sorry she couldn't be here today. Her husband had some surgery, but there are some rather big things that I'm sure Mr. Lee will probably walk us all through those, but they do represent year-end things. Some of the things we talked about at the work session to fund yet this year are part of those, and we can go through this in a little bit more detail at the time the legislation's in front of you. A couple other things I wanted to mention. We're relieved that the work is soon to begin on the service garage roof. What with bad weather coming, it's not a good idea to not have your roof intact. So anyway, we're happy to have that. Hopefully that work can be done in maybe a week or less time frame. We did get our healthcare renewal today. It is official. We had thought we would get this rate, and we indeed did, of 13.1% for our healthcare. Increase, yes. And the other thing that I did want to mention quickly that we talked about a little bit ago, and that is rain is forecasted for light up. So we will try to call that maybe Thursday if it appears to still be 100% chance of rain. So that's all I have for now. Thank you.
But if it's snow, we'll have it.
All right, that's beautiful when it snows.
Well, Jack
It's
said
real
Elsa
pretty.
was going to be there, so you should be able to change it to snow.
That's what we're hoping for.
Okay, Law Director Jeff
You've
Forbes.
watched that in live.
Thank you, Mayor. Just very brief tonight. Again, no pending legal matters that the village is involved in. As far as bills of municipal interest, I did see in a bulletin that, I think it was just yesterday, Senate Bill 194 was introduced, and that is sort of a companion to a separate House bill that was previously introduced that would increase the employer contribution for Ohio Police and Fire. Right now, I think it's 19.5% is the employer contribution, and I think, and then starting in, I think it's June of '24, that would go up to 21%, and then in '23, it goes up another percent. It's kind of spelled out over the next,
In 25?
I'm sorry, yeah, in '24, in 2024, it will go up to 21%, and then the next year, 22%, the year after that, 23%, the next year, 24%, and I think that's where it may stop, but I only mention it because when there are companion or similar bills introduced both in the House and the Senate at the same time, it tends to make that process move faster. So we'll continue to watch that, and I'm sure Deb is already, aware of that. If it passes, we'll start factoring that in. But that's all I have tonight.
Could I ask you a question?
You can ask.
Okay. Have you heard anything at the state regarding where we can do our public notices? Because like with the Journal, you know, very
Yeah.
few people get the Enquirer. I mean, where are we? I don't know that Facebook is recognized or any of those.
So I'll do a double check for you, but
Okay.
that question is coming up in more communities.
Yeah, I mean-
Where, you know, the truth is, most people get their notifications or news or whatever from online sources, and they did recently make some changes in the law, but this is kind of one area where it just hasn't caught up with the real world
Yeah.
yet. When you see a lot of these things that say things have to be advertised so many weeks in a row in a newspaper of general circulation,
Right.
those are harder and harder to come by these days. So I will, I'll double check that and see what that most
Okay.
recent change was. I know that another community that I represent asked a similar question. They actually had something, and I don't think we even have this anymore. They have a requirement that they have to post things at the 5 most, I forget what it's called, but
Conspicuous.
basically the 5 bulletin boards around the community. And they were asking the similar question. Nobody is looking at the bulletin boards
I
anymore.
look at the library bulletin board. Yeah, every now and then somebody does.
Well, I
You
stand
just look at
corrected.
that.
Some people do look at bulletin boards, but, you know, it has happened in some communities where they had an agreement where they would post it on a bulletin board at a bank, and then that bank closes, and then, you know, maybe at the library. So there are sites where we do things like that, and there are times when you can do that because it's a nice thing to do. What we need to double check is what are the requirements of
Right.
where these publications and notices have to go. We'll double check for you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Forbes, just a question. I know one way or the other, it doesn't really matter, but I was told that it had been a change and that no longer the prosecutor for Greenhills falls into the purview of the council, although we hired them and so forth, and so therefore there was not going to be an evaluation done. Was not aware of any changes in legislation about that. Could you put some light on that?
I don't know that,
Right, it's,
We've never evaluated the
Yes, we
process.
have.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we have.
Well,
All the
last
time.
year,
Always
yeah,
All the
but
time.
it's normally the law director.
No.
No, we've
All the time.
evaluated both the prosecutor and the law director. I've been on both.
So, but when they received the notice that said it's no longer the purview of council, I said to myself,
No, we did it.
when did that happen?
Well,
Only where-
basically, I appoint him, right?
right.
For the court or not?
well, no, I mean, council has, what has happened historically is that the law director's office serves as the prosecutor. Some years ago, and believe me, I'm not complaining, but some years ago, the decision was, and I think a good decision was made to, instead of having somebody from our office do it, that you have appointed an outside person to do it. And I think since then, I think it's been the same person since then, and he's actually a real prosecutor. I mean, his day job
We
is.
searched high and low for him, and
He works in the county prosecutor's office. So council has been the one, I think that's, a long time ago, you voted on an ordinance, I suspect, to appoint and set whatever the compensation was.
Yeah.
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 I can't speak to your
I'm
review
just,
process.
I'm trying to gather why that is important to you.
Well, for one reason, first it was said, and then I was told it was no longer in the purview of council, so therefore, Jennifer and I, we were going to do Mr. Forbes, and that's okay, but I'm just curious, why was it dropped? What was the reason of being dropped or anything?
You know what, I guess I view him as a contractor, and when you think of all the contracts we have with people, we don't review all the contracts. And mayor's court, It is under the mayor. Even the chief doesn't really have any say in mayor's court. It's like its own entity, isn't it?
I just thought it was rare because we
Yeah.
have done it continuously for several years when we
I'm
started the
only aware of
evaluation.
last year. I'm only aware of last year.
Oh, no, we
I mean,
did it before, because like
Okay,
this time I
no,
did it with Jennifer,
If
but
you
the
want to
time
double
before.
check for us, look into that.
Yeah, I can look, but I mean, yeah, I will double check.
I do think it's something that came up before. I think it's a good practice, if we're not doing it as a council, that you have some system in place to have a review of contractors. You know, it shouldn't be, I don't think it is, but it shouldn't be automatic pilot, that once they've got the position, it's just fixed.
Right.
I mean, do you review, we've reviewed,
Some
Yeah,
say-
we just did pool, we've done
right,
contracts, yeah. It's a little bit of a unique thing though, but
okay. Meaning.
It depends on the type.
I guess I always just thought that mayor's court functions independently. It's not supposed to be political. It's a
Yeah,
function. It's
That I
not,
can tell you is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
I mean, that,
and
that's
it
always been the
wasn't
case
taken away
since,
from the purview. It never was in the purview of
since,
council.
since there was an appointment of a magistrate and an outside prosecutor. I think it is important, and I'm not speaking to the review process, but I think it is important to recognize and remember that the mayor's court is a separate entity. It is a separate branch of government, just like, I mean, the police department might talk to you and say, we don't like the way things are going in mayor's court, but you, council and the police department or the mayor, or you can't control what happens in mayor's court. You can appoint qualified people to serve as a magistrate and a prosecutor, but you can't direct them on how to do their
Well,
jobs.
I don't think that's the intention.
But from a review standpoint, I can't speak to that. I don't know what the history
Yeah.
has ever been.
Well, I don't think the intention is to direct what they're doing, but there seems to be should be a checks and balances.
Checks and balances, yeah.
To see if they're not doing what they're doing, who do they answer to? Is it to you, Yvonne, or?
Well, I'll find out.
Okay.
I'll find out and be able to report back.
And one more thing. Well, I think the charter too would indicate that the three people that report to council would be Mr. Forbes, Teresa, and myself. So those would be the ones you evaluate.
Right. I'm not lobbying to evaluate, I'm just,
No, I
it
just-
would be helpful to know
Yeah,
if it goes south, what, who's overseeing that
because I've done
function.
it also before that, I did it with Mrs. Hermes. So I mean, it's not just a one-shot deal that I did last year with
Okay.
Mr. Vaniglu.
And it might have been, when we did it, was shortly after, it was like a year after he began to make sure it was working. So we did that, but then COVID, and then,
Okay. All right, move on. Clerk of Council, anything?
Nothing.
Okay, Chief of Police?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. During the month of November, we responded to 176 calls for service. We took seven criminal offense reports. We made 14 arrests, 11 of which were for warrants. We issued 47 citations. We issued 45 traffic warnings where citations were not issued. Took 3 auto accident reports. This year, year-to-date compared to last year, 2022, we're down 5 criminal offense reports. That's as far as the statistics for November. We will be at Light Up Greenhills if it goes off without a hitch with a lot of cookies. So hopefully it goes off. If the weather doesn't cooperate and we don't have it, bring the kids up. We'll still give them cookies over the weekend, stuff up the PD, because we're going to have a lot of them. And we don't want to eat them all.
Yeah.
Don't
Thank
tell,
you.
don't tell Andy that.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. All right, and on my report, I have the court receipts for October 31st. The ending bank balance was $26,561.56. Checks to be issued, State of Ohio, $1,499.50. Hamilton County, $57, and the Village of Greenhills, $6,042.40. And I just wanted to mention also, that, as the librarian mentioned and Yvonne has mentioned, about the journal ending publication and will be on Facebook. December will be the last issue of the journal, and the journal has done a lot for the village. It's been a great communicator, way to get our information out. But it's pretty much a sign of the times that they were having difficulty finding printers, getting volunteers, having enough money, getting people to deliver the journal, and so I guess like a lot of newspapers, they're ending print publication. Okay, that's all I have. Actually, there'll be a Christmas light-up judging for the Mayor's Awards, but it'll be the Vice Mayor's Awards. I've delegated that out this year, so he's going to coordinate it, so hopefully.
What?
You'll get free
Hopefully
cookies. I'll get some from the
Yeah.
press.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Levy,
Okay.
do you have a date for that?
Do we still get to borrow the Tesla to go?
We're going to try to do it the week of December 18th.
Just
I'll
saying.
program it to drive around town.
Thank you.
And play Christmas
Perfect.
music.
Yes,
Yeah,
and the
and
lights too.
I don't have a Tesla, so.
Wow, well, you might.
Yeah, we get to borrow it since you get delegated.
Okay, reports of committees, Community Development, Jeff Halter.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. As I announced before, that Yvonne they had selected, the way that our beautification awards work is the properties are judged based on if it's a good-looking property and you're taking care of it well, your name goes into a group, and then one is picked from the west side and then one is picked from the east side. Our winners are 133 Junedale, both people that I met, and they received a $25 choice of a $25 gift card, and they both got Kroger gift cards. So 133 Junedale on the east side is one winner, and 112 Burley on the west side. Just doing a great job caring for their property, and also just their appreciation of the community was quite evident. Just as a side note, hopefully if Light Up Greenhills is on because of it's either snowing or not raining, then I want to mention that the Greenhills Historical Society in the community building also opens up at that time. And if you haven't had a chance to look through there, they'll have music there. They have, I think we make chicken soup, and there's a bunch of goodies there, but you could also see some of the displays, which we're looking to revamp. But, so come and give your suggestions and stop over there if you get the opportunity. But that concludes my community development report.
Safety, Melanie Armies.
No report on the committee, just an FYI that the fire contract will be on the next meeting as the current contract expires at the end of the year.
Recreation, Cable TV, Rachel Hudson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just wanted to share that there was a event held for Chip since he's going to be retiring. I wasn't able to make it, but I heard that it was good. And Kurt is now in his role as the government programming coordinator. And the updates that he had was that he did a interview with our new chief, and they were airing that, and it can be found in their conversations. Oh, let me see where they... Talking with series is where he said that they could find it at, and yeah, that's all I have.
Okay. Great. And we wish Chip the best in his retirement.
Yes.
So he's been running that operation for quite a while. Okay, Service and Streets, Jennifer Osmonica.
Thank you. I want to thank the service department for all the work they've done getting leaves and sticks and all of our garbage from our yards picked up for us. Is tomorrow the last pickup for the loose leaves?
It just depends on how much they get done.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because I looked at the schedule and I'm like, oh, it's tomorrow.
I know, right?
Yeah. is that a cruel rumor that we need a service department worker, or is that true?
No, that's true.
No. So, if you know anybody that wants to work for the service department, send them your way.
You bet.
A fun and challenging job.
Yeah. Working outdoors, it's nice.
Mhm.
All right, thank you.
Jennifer, I would like to say also that the last tree that leaves go down is the pin oak. And I know that because I have a pin oak, and usually it's December the 30th or 31st when it's beginning to come
Of
down.
course.
So usually I have to bag them because maybe it's not correct with the timing of everything else. But it depends on the tree, and depends on the weather, and depends on everything. But also I wanted to say that the lights on the street there, they look beautiful on the
Yeah, they
trees.
do look really great.
Mike has done an outstanding job. The leaves have been picked up whenever they were outside there, and not waited until rain or snow or anything like that. It was just there, and they would get picked up right away. So he has been working very, very hard, and I really, even putting the mums underneath the signs of Welcome to Greenhills, that he did that he had the time to do that. For the 4th of July and Memorial Day, putting the flags on the poles there. I mean, there's a continuous work that he does for everybody. And I think that all should be able to tell him that, kudos and job well done to Mike.
Yeah, Great.
I just want to second that, especially with the arrows on Winton Road. Those are great. I mean,
Yeah.
they're very visible, and I think they actually do bring a lot of value to that part of the road. So thank you.
In a community garden, I mean, if you've been down there, the fence is up now, it just looks beautiful. It really looks nice.
Plus, we did have a beautiful fall
Yes,
Yeah, we did.
and a lot of leaves.
yes.
Lot of leaves.
Okay, intergovernmental affairs, laws and rules, Maria Walther.
We did not meet, the same as the safety, we always meet together. We didn't have an agenda at this time.
Okay. Finance and audit, Jack Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Finance and Audit Committee has a meeting with the village manager and finance director on the 6th at 9:30 a.m. To review the budget for and allocations for next year. At your place tonight is a recap of the general fund for the month of October. You'll see that we've maintained a steady growth going into the fourth quarter of the year. The general fund balance as of the end of October is $2,211,489.31, which is a healthy increase over October, end of October last year. There have been no transfers for the month of October, but we do have several on the docket tonight in legislation. Expenses are running 72% of our appropriated amount, which is less than the intended appropriations at that point. And as I mentioned, there were no transfers from the general fund in the last month. Unless you have any further questions, that's the end of my report.
Mr. Mayor, can I add something? I just had a notification come in, and Waycross Media wanted everybody to know that Talking with Santa will be back in the studio live on Thursday, December 7th at 7 p.m. And she says that kids 12 and under can email Santa their questions to the studio for Santa to answer while they are live. They can check out more information on the Waycross Facebook page. Thank you.
Okay, great.
You should have made it breaking news. Did it?
Yeah.
This just in, direct call from Santa, that's who it was, that email.
Okay, this is an opportunity for residents, non-residents to make comments solely regarding legislation that's on the current agenda. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, complete the sign-in sheet, verbally indicate that you're a resident of Greenhills or a non-resident, and state your comments. Comments will be limited to 4 minutes. All right, unfinished business. We have ordinance number 2023 dash, is that O, 3, or 0?
Oh, ordinance.
Ordinance.
Ordinance. Oh, okay. 3-F, second reading. Amending various sections of the village income tax to comply with the provisions of Ohio House Bill 33 and declaring an emergency. Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance 2023, Ordinance 03-F, amending various sections of the Village Income Tax Code to comply with the provisions of Ohio House Bill 33 and declaring an emergency. Whereas House Bill 33, the states,
Do you want to suspend the reading, full reading of it? Since we don't have to do that if we vote, suspend it.
well, let's go ahead and read it.
Okay,
It's-
all right.
It's not overbearing. The state's biennium budget bill includes provisions purporting to require that municipalities on or before January 1st, 2024, adopt certain municipal income tax provisions that are also adopted within the House Bill. And whereas, although the municipal income tax provisions of House Bill 33 potentially violate the Home Rule Amendment of the Ohio Constitution, the village nonetheless is compelled to adopt House Bill 33's municipal income tax provisions on or before January 1st, 2024, to avoid any doubt or taxpayer challenge as to its ability to impose a municipal income tax under the terms Section 718.04A of the Ohio Revised Code. And whereas the village, by enacting this ordinance, does not concede the legality of House Bill 33's municipal income tax provisions, Section 718.04A of the Ohio Revised Code, or any other law that is subject to any suit that may be commenced, now therefore be it ordained by the Council of Village Greenhills members elected hereto concurring. Section 1, that the income tax provisions of the codified ordinances of the village shall hereby be amended to read as set forth in Exhibit A of this ordinance, attached hereto and incorporated by reference herein. All provisions not explicitly amended herein shall remain in full force and effect. Section 2, that this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the preservation of the public peace, health, safety, and general welfare, and shall be effective immediately upon its adoption. The reason for said declaration of emergency is the need to adopt the amendments in order to comply with the timing requirements of House Bill 33. Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution, or, ordinance.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Do we need to do separate for emergency clause, or just the way it's written?
No, because it's written as an emergency.
Okay.
Yep.
Any comments or questions? My comment is just another thing the state legislature sticks to the local communities. Other than that, clerk, call the roll.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Osmanoglu?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
And Ms. Hudson? Aye.
Ordinance number 2023-003-F passes. Okay. New business, resolution number 2023-R23-SNS, authorizing assessments on certain properties in the village of Greenhills. Ms. Osmanoglu.
Thank you. Resolution number 2023-R23-SNS, resolution authorizing assessments on certain properties in the village of Greenhills. Whereas the village has given proper notice to the owners of certain real property in the village of Greenhills regarding the removal of vegetation, refuse, garbage, and/or debris from the properties listed below, and whereas the owners of said properties did not take action to remedy the violations, and therefore the Village of Greenhills contracted to remove vegetation, refuse, garbage, and/or debris, and now seeks to collect said expenses by authorizing the placement of a lien upon the lands and collected as other taxes. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, Section 1, that the Village Council hereby certifies that the cost of such labor, together with the expenses relative thereto, be filed on the return and statement to the Hamilton County Commissioners as an assessment against the properties listed and placed as a lien against the properties by the Auditor of Hamilton County, Ohio, as follows. Parcel number 597-0080-010500, address 55 to 57 Burley Circle, owner Timothy and Sherry Spa, cost $136.75. Parcel number 597-0080-018800, address 91 Burley Circle, owner Young M.I. Stewart, cost $219.15, for a total of $355.90. Section 2, all amounts collected as a result of this resolution shall be placed into the general fund of the Village of Greenhills. Section 3, this resolution shall be effective immediately upon its passage. Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Okay, it's been moved. We have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
Sorry.
To adopt this resolution. Any comments? Hearing none, clerk, poll the council.
Ms. Hudson? Ms.
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Ms. Osmanoglu?
Aye.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 2023-R23-SNS passes. Next one is resolution number 2023-R24-REC, authorizing municipal manager to enter into an agreement with Swim Safe Pool Management. Ms. Hudson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution number 2023-R24-REC, authorizing the municipal manager to enter into a swimming pool management and maintenance agreement with Swim Safe Pool Management, Inc. Whereas the Village of Greenhills owns the Greenhills swimming pool, and whereas Swim Safe Pool Management, Inc. is in the business of managing, operating, and servicing community swimming pools and has been operating the Greenhills swimming pool for the past 12 years, and whereas council has determined that after considering other bids, continuing with Swim Safe to operate the pool is prudent to assist in the protection of the public peace, health, safety, and welfare. Now therefore be it resolved. Still read that part?
Yes.
Okay. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, members elected thereto concurring, Section 1, that the municipal manager is hereby authorized to enter into a swimming pool management and maintenance agreement with Swim Safe Pool Management, Inc., substantially in the form of the agreement attached as Exhibit A. Section 2, that this resolution shall be and is effective from and after the earliest period allowed by law. Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt this resolution.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any comments? Hearing none, clerk, poll the council.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Ms. Osmanoglu? Aye. Ms. Hudson?
Aye.
Resolution number 2023-R24-REC passes. Next one's resolution number 2023-R25-F, making supplemental appropriations and transfers. Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution 2023-R25-F, resolution making supplemental appropriations and transfers. Whereas the 2023 annual appropriations were adopted on December 20th, 2022, are to be amended. And whereas appropriations must not exceed total available resources of the village per Ohio Revised Code Section 5705.36A5. Therefore, an amended certificate of estimated resources has been requested from the County Budget Commission. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, Section 1, that certain actions are needed in the monies appropriated so to permit the Village of Greenhills to meet its fiscal obligations for the year 2023. The following items of expenditures are to supplement the appropriations for expenditure for the year 2023. Fund description: General Fund Administration, account number 1000.710. Original appropriation is $308,300. Change is an additional $60,000 for a new total of $368,300. General Fund Legislative, account 1000.715. Original appropriation was $22,800. The change is an additional $3,000 for a new total of $25,800. General Fund Finance, 1000.725. The original appropriation was $175,900. Change is $15,000. An additional $15,000. New total is $190,900. General Fund 1000.730. Lands and Buildings. Original appropriation was $709,400. The change is an additional $90,000. New total is $799,400. Police Operating Fund, account number 2901. Original appropriation was $900,670. Change is the additional $125,000 for a new total of $1,025,670. Section 2, that the following transfers of funds to be made from previously appropriated monies, none. Section 3, that this resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after the earliest date allowed by law. Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any comments? Hearing none, clerk poll the council.
Jack, were you
Ms.
gonna say
Hermes?
Aye.
Sorry.
Ms. Hudson?
Aye.
Ms. Osmanoglu? Aye. Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 2023-R25-F passes. Any council members have any comments you want to add?
Those changes, in what I was going to say was those changes in the supplemental appropriations basically were to fill out fund accounts for year-end accounting to make sure that there were enough funds to carry those over to the next year. That's so.
All right. Municipal calendar?
Light up Greenhills. Light up Greenhills, December 1st. This Friday.
Unless there's a flood.
Santa's going to be at Waycross.
December 7th, 7 PM.
No, it's okay. Opportunity for residents, non-residents to appear before council. I see we have no non-residents out here, so this is the time for citizens to comment on matters before council. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, complete the sign-in sheet, verbally indicate if you are a resident of Greenhills, and state your comments. If you have questions, the questions will be recorded and referred to the manager's office for response. This will allow time for thoughtful and thorough considerations to be given to each question. Council meetings are recorded for ease of transcription. Comments are limited to 4 minutes. Speakers may not yield any or all their time to other speakers.
Everybody have a copy? Okay. Monique Mason-Halter, Greenhills resident. Over the past few months, I have given you articles and reports about widespread opposition to H.R. 3557, the American Broadband Deployment Act, and other federal bills that eliminate municipal control over wireless deployment. Other bills include H.R. 4141, 4540, 1123, 3280, and 4006. Opposition to H.R. 3557 includes U.S. Conference of Mayors, National League of Cities, and National League of Counties. If these bills are passed, this could significantly affect the village's income, historical status, property values, safety, and security. It is still unclear to me how many of you have read the materials I've provided to you about this and contacted our Congressman, Warren Davidson, and the Hamilton County Commissioners to ask that they take action against these bills. The village has worked very hard over the years to protect its historical status. Among other things, these bills threaten it. They are being promoted under the banners of streamlining, removing barriers to entry, and closing the digital divide, when they actually ignore constitutional protections, conflict with existing federal law, remove states' rights, and would perpetuate the digital divide. While I am asking that you strengthen the Greenhills Small Cell Facilities Ordinance so that it is as strong as other ordinances that have been passed by other Ohio municipalities, I'm now also going to read from a report from the National Call for Safe Technology about federal bills being considered that will jeopardize national security. I've provided you with copies so that you may refer to them if you contact Warren Davidson and the Hamilton County Commissioners and anyone else about this to voice your concern. S. 1648, H.R. 682, diverting spectrum from the military, H.R. 1123, H.R. 4510, NTIA Reauthorization Act, H.R. 1338, greenlighting unlimited additional satellites, H.R. 3565, reauthorizing FCC Spectrum Authority, H.R. 1353, granting FCC emergency spectrum power. So this fact sheet is from the National Call for Safe Technology. The following bills will jeopardize national security and will impair national infrastructure resilience and cybersecurity. Set forth below are the most dangerous provisions in these bills and recommendations to vote against or support amendments for the most problematic sections. The National Call for Safe Technology is a coalition of over 100 organizations and individuals advocating for technology that, among other things, preserves individual privacy and security. S. 1648/HR 682, diverting spectrum from the military, disapprove. Makes military spectrum available for commercial uses, now used for critical national security, e.g. military satellites, NASA, NOAA, military aircraft, telemetry, air defense missile system, risks hacking of military communications. Neither bill was referred to Armed Services Committee, no impact study on national security. H.R. 1123, studying cybersecurity vulnerabilities should include 5G, approve only with amendments, expressly excludes 5G from cybersecurity study without justification. Department of Commerce, NTIA, to do the study, even though it lacks expertise in cybersecurity. Significant security risks of 5G networks are well documented. The 5G paradox, increased efficiency increases security risks. 5G's inherent design flaw. Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks. All right, meeting adjourned.